Welcome to Map Your Mind. Travel through the world with your brain. Imagine a land where tulips bloom in endless rows, where windmills turn in rhythm with the breeze, and where cities float on canals that shimmer with golden light. This is the Netherlands, a country that seems small on the map, but don't let that fool you. Its history is vast, its culture deep, and its influence far-reaching. The Dutch didn't just build a nation. They built one asterisk below sea level asterisk, wrestled it from the sea, and turned it into one of the most prosperous places on Earth. This is the story of a people who engineered their own survival and then sailed across the world. Let's start at the very beginning. Long before it was a kingdom, long before there were even dikes or levees, this land was a watery marsh of shifting rivers, dense forest, and boggy terrain. Tribes like the Batavians and the Frisians lived here during Roman times, resisting invasions and surviving floods. By the Middle Ages, small towns began to rise on slightly higher ground. Fishing villages grew into trade ports. Amsterdam? It started as a tiny fishing settlement near a dam on the Amstel River. But it was water, not land, that would shape everything. The Dutch began building dikes to keep the sea out, draining lakes to make farmland, and carving out canals like veins across their cities. And then came the 16th and 17th centuries, the Dutch Golden Age. Now the Netherlands wasn't just surviving, it was thriving. A small republic free from Spanish rule, after a brutal 80-year war, suddenly exploded into wealth and creativity. Merchants, painters, scientists, and philosophers all flourished. Dutch ships sailed to Asia, Africa, and the Americas. They weren't just trading spices, they were building a global empire. In Indonesia, in Suriname, in South Africa, even in what would become New York, formerly New Amsterdam, Dutch influence left its mark. At home, artists like Rembrandt and Vermeer captured the light in ways no one ever had. Their paintings weren't about kings or saints, they were about people, about daily life, about beauty in the ordinary. And while art bloomed, so did ideas. The Dutch embraced religious tolerance and free thought. It became a refuge for philosophers, writers, and scientists who faced persecution elsewhere, a haven for rebels of the mind. But the story wasn't all golden. As the Dutch expanded their empire, they also played a major role in the transatlantic slave trade. They enslaved people in the Caribbean, in Africa, in the East Indies, profiting from the same system of oppression as many other colonial powers. It's a painful chapter that the Netherlands, like many countries, is still reckoning with today. In the 19th century, the Dutch monarchy was officially established, but it was the 20th century that would truly test the nation's heart. During World War II, the Netherlands was invaded and occupied by Nazi Germany. The years that followed were dark. Cities bombed, people starved, and entire Jewish communities wiped out. Among them was a young girl named Anne Frank, whose diary became one of the world's most haunting and human accounts of the Holocaust. After the war, the Netherlands rebuilt. It modernized rapidly, joined the European Union, and redefined its role in the world. No longer an empire, it became a champion of diplomacy, innovation, and human rights. Amsterdam emerged as a cultural capital, home to thinkers, artists, and dreamers. But the Dutch never forgot their roots. Even today, they fight the sea with high-tech dikes and massive floodgates. Over a quarter of the country is still below sea level. Their ability to manage water is so advanced, other nations come to learn from them. And culturally, they continue to lead. This is the country that gave us Van Gogh and Spinoza, that legalized same-sex marriage before anyone else, that blends tradition with innovation, wooden clogs with wind turbines, old masters with AI labs. Dutch society is deeply liberal, yet practical, outspoken, yet cooperative. The people value consensus, cycling over driving, and gezelligheid, a word that doesn't quite translate, but means a kind of cozy, heartwarming togetherness. Fun fact, the Netherlands has more bikes than people. Seriously, over 23 million bikes for a population of just 17 million. And the cycling paths? Over 35,000 kilometers. That's enough to ride around the Earth. Almost. So next time someone mentions the Netherlands, don't just think tulips and canals. Think of a people who drained the sea and dared to dream beyond the horizon, who painted shadows, traded spices, challenged power, and created a society as vibrant as a Vermeer painting. This isn't just a flat country in Western Europe. It's a living canvas painted over and over again by water, wind, and human will. Where will your mind travel next?